This isn't social interaction, it's psychological surgery. And right now, someone in your life is operating on your mind without your permission. Every day, you make about 35,000 decisions. But here's the terrifying part. Up to 95% of them aren't actually yours. By the end of this video, you'll stop being an open book that anyone can read and rewrite. You'll start recognizing these invisible attacks as they happen. And most importantly, you'll become psychologically untouchable. But I'm warning you, once you learn these patterns, your relationships will never look the same. You'll spot them everywhere, in your conversations, at work, even in this video. I've decoded this into 3 parts that will completely change how you see human interaction. Part 1. The Trojan horse patterns, how manipulation bypasses your mental defenses. Part 2. The dark psychology playbook, the specific techniques being used against you daily. Part 3. The immunity protocol, how to become psychologically bulletproof. By the end, you'll have a mental firewall that makes you impossible to manipulate, the ability to spot hidden agendas instantly, and a psychological edge that puts you in control of every interaction. Let's start with something that happened to my friend Jessica. She thought she was helping a coworker. Every conversation started the same way. "I hate to ask, but you're the only one who understands." 6 months later, she realized she'd given away $5,000, countless hours, and her own mental health. But here's the thing. It was never about understanding. It was about access. Psychologists call this emotional vampirism. Your empathy becomes a backdoor into your decision-making center. When someone triggers your emotions first, your logical brain goes offline. You literally lose the ability to think critically for up to 20 minutes. The defense is simple. It's called the 24-hour rule. When someone triggers strong emotions, then asks for something, wait 24 hours before responding. Watch how many urgent requests suddenly become less important. Think about the last time someone made you feel guilty, then asked for a favor. That wasn't coincidence, that was engineering. But here's where it gets really interesting. A CEO once told me how he lost his company. It started with his business partner saying, "Everyone thinks you're difficult to work with." Notice that word? Everyone. He never said who. But that one word rewired the CEO's reality. He started seeing criticism everywhere, doubting every decision. This is called social proof manipulation. Your brain is wired to care desperately about group opinion. It's survival programming from when being rejected by the tribe meant death. Manipulators know this. They create invisible armies of opinion that exist only in your mind. The antidote is powerful, but simple. Always ask for names. Everyone? Who specifically? Watch manipulators scramble when their invisible army evaporates. They'll stutter, backtrack, or get angry. That anger? That's the sound of manipulation failing. What nobody tells you is how subtle the next pattern can be. David's coworker brought him coffee every morning. Small gesture, right? 3 months later, when she needed someone to cover her mistakes on a major project, guess who felt obligated? That coffee wasn't kindness. It was an investment. Robert Cialdini discovered that reciprocity is our strongest social trigger. Even tiny favors create massive psychological debt. Manipulators use micro-investments to purchase macro control. Start noticing unsolicited favors. Ask yourself, would this person do this if they needed nothing from me? If the answer is no, you're looking at a manipulation, not a kindness. Have you ever noticed how some people always seem to get what they want from you? Think back to your last uncomfortable yes. Which pattern did they use? Let me know in the comments which one hit home for you. And if you're finding value in finally understanding these patterns, hit that like button. It really helps spread this protection to others who need it. But wait, there's a darker layer to this. That's not what happened. You're remembering it wrong. You're too sensitive. Sound familiar? Modern gaslighting doesn't deny reality. It makes you doubt your ability to perceive it. Your memory isn't a recording. It's a reconstruction. Every time you remember something, you literally rewrite it. Gaslighters know this. They plant seeds of doubt that grow into forests of confusion. Here are the recognition triggers. You start keeping records of conversations. You apologize constantly for things you're not sure you did. You feel crazy, but can't explain why. You second-guess memories that used to be clear. The defense protocol is this: document everything. Text confirmations after verbal agreements. Screenshot conversations. Trust your gut. It remembers what your mind forgets. Your body keeps score even when your memory gets hacked. Here's what they really don't want you to know. Week 1. You're perfect, amazing, different from everyone else. Week 4. Small criticisms appear, just trying to help you grow. Week 8. You're walking on eggshells, desperate for that early validation. Week 12. You don't recognize yourself anymore. This creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the most addictive pattern known to human psychology. It's the same principle casinos use, but with your self-worth as the currency. Your brain literally becomes addicted to their approval. Watch for speed. Healthy relationships build slowly. Manipulation moves fast because it needs to hook you before you see the pattern. If someone's feelings seem too much too soon, they probably are. The real power comes when they move to the next phase. Your friends don't understand us. Your family is toxic. I'm the only one who really gets you. Step by step, your support network disappears. Not through force, through persuasion. Isolation isn't the goal, it's the method. Once you're alone, the manipulator becomes your only reality check. They don't just influence your decisions. They become your decision-making process. The way to break free? Maintain manipulation-free zones. Relationships the manipulator can't touch. Old friends, family members, therapists. If someone tries to cut these connections, that's not love, that's control. But there's a dark side to this knowledge, and this is where things get really intense. Now you know how to hack minds. You could use the emotional hijack to get whatever you want. You could drop reality anchors to control how people see themselves. You could build reciprocity webs that make people serve you. I've seen people learn these patterns and become the very monsters they wanted to defend against. They justify it. I'm just protecting myself. But protection and predation are separated by a single choice: the choice of intent. Ask yourself, am I learning this to defend or to attack? Because once you cross that line, you don't just manipulate others, you corrupt yourself. You become what you fought against. You're not like most people who ignore these warnings. You're ready to build your defense. Here's your psychological armor. First, the baseline method. Establish behavioral baselines for everyone in your life. How do they act when they need nothing? That's their true self. Any deviation is a potential manipulation. Start a simple note in your phone. Track patterns. When do they contact you? What do they ask for? What triggers their kindness? In 2 weeks, you'll see the matrix of manipulation around you. Second, the pressure test. When someone pushes for an immediate decision, say, "I need to think about it." Their reaction tells you everything. Genuine people respect boundaries. Manipulators reveal themselves through pressure. Practice on small things first. I'll let you know tomorrow. Watch who respects this and who pushes back. You're not being difficult, you're being diagnostic. If you're getting value from these defense strategies, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I drop new psychological defense content every week that will keep you ahead of the manipulation game. Third, the value audit. Every month ask, what value do I bring to each relationship, and what do I receive? If the equation is always unbalanced in their favor, you're not in a relationship, you're in an extraction. This isn't about keeping score, it's about recognizing patterns. Healthy relationships have natural give and take. Manipulative ones have take and take disguised as connection. Fourth, the gray rock method. This is advanced defense. Become uninteresting to manipulators. Short responses. No emotional reactions. No personal information. You become a gray rock. Present but psychologically unavailable. Use this for situations you can't escape. Toxic workplaces, necessary interactions, family dynamics. You don't fight back. You fade out. Manipulators need drama. Starve them of it. Now you understand the dark psychology that surrounds us daily. You've seen how minds get hacked. how good people become victims and how victims sometimes become villains. But here's the deeper truth. This knowledge isn't about becoming untouchable. It's about becoming incorruptible. When you can see manipulation, you can choose compassion. When you understand control, you can offer freedom. You're not like most people who'll watch this and forget. You're someone who values psychological sovereignty, yours and others. You're ready to live with eyes wide open, boundaries intact, and integrity uncompromised. Share this with someone who needs protection. We all know someone trapped in these patterns who can't see the strings. Your share might be the wake-up call that changes their life. Drop a comment below. Which technique surprised you most? Which pattern have you experienced? Your story might help someone else recognize their situation. And remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Next week, I'm revealing the advanced influence patterns used by master persuaders, the legal manipulation that happens in plain sight. You won't want to miss it. Remember, these patterns are everywhere now that you know what to look for. Every interaction becomes a choice. Will you use this knowledge to protect or to prey? Choose wisely. Your psychological integrity depends on it. The most dangerous person in your life might be reading this same playbook. Stay vigilant, stay protected, stay free.